They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! With 0.6 of a second remaining.
Knocked away and stolen. Here's Middleton. Giannis trailing the lob. Giannis Antetokounmpo for Chris Middleton.
I like that laugh.
I really like that laugh.
That is a great laugh.
You could be having like the worst day and then hear that laugh.
Just that whole intro into that laugh.
You know,
That laugh, like-
here's the beauty of that laugh. Even if you are having a bad day and you don't laugh the first time, by the 50th time when it keeps looping, you're going to laugh.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, welcome everybody to the Backboard. This is week 20. I'm Joe. I'm joined with KJ, Anna, and Ty behind the glass. We're on Elevation 5280 Sports. How's your guys' week been so far?
It's been good. How about you?
I mean, can't complain, KJ.
Well, it's been hard working, but honestly, as far as school is concerned, this is the hardest I've worked since I've been here. But I wouldn't trade it for the world because I have a great group of guys to do it with. So
You're also looking really fresh today.
Yeah,
You got a bunch of new swag on.
I do
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
I was going to tell you today, you look different.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. I was inspired by this young lady. It was about a month or so ago. She got some new shoes when she came up to altitude on the internship. And I said, all right, she's stepping up her shoe game. I said, I got to go ahead and get fresh, man. It's time. So,
I mean, I do miss the jacket. I'm not going to lie. I almost didn't recognize it.
I'll bring it back eventually. But as of right now, man, it's just time to switch it up.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, for sure. But, man, before we get into the David Fisdale thing, I have some soundbite from Jimmy Butler that I want us to kind of go over real quick. So, whenever our
He's not even in my league, like nowhere near me. And if I was their coach, I would never put him on me ever again. He's like, no, put somebody else on me because I'm a Tad every time.
Oh my God, he's so full of himself. He
doesn't
full
care
of
at
himself.
all.
Dude,
He doesn't
not
care.
at all, dude. I was listening to a podcast. It's called the Letlow and Parker podcast with Christian Letlow and Candace Parker over on. You can find it anywhere. And Jimmy Butler was their guest this week, and he got mad because they were talking about Tyler Hero and how they didn't expect him to, break out this soon. And he just started going off because everybody was like, y'all don't see the bleep that I see. What? Like, he always has to have the loudest opinion on everything.
I love it. That's what I like about Jimmy Butler. He's rowdy. He's going to hype everybody up.
He's a wild card.
It's
That's what he is.
He's definitely a wild card. There's no question
Yeah.
about that.
How
So.
about
And like, what I don't get is why he got so offended over it, because I saw the foul call,
Yeah, so
and I mean, barely touched the guy, and then
yeah, I'll take
obviously
you
the
inside the
fight
game a
happened,
little
the-
bit. So throughout the game, man, T.J. Warren was really chomping at
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler a lot, and it takes nothing to get Jimmy Butler going. So the slightest arm grab, as if you're trying to like do something to me, will set him off. And I think that's honestly all the juice that Jimmy Butler needed to say, dude, you see the scoreboard. We're already beating your butt. So
yeah.
after that, Jimmy Butler was just on one the entire game, all the way through the night. He's probably still on one at shoot-around today.
He hasn't left the gym yet.
Yeah, not
still
at
there.
all. He's still talking about how T.J. Warren, I'll bust you up next time I see you, bro.
Did you see what he posted on Instagram too?
What'd he say?
So he posted like it was a screenshot of the schedule. So they're gonna play next March, the 20th of March, correct?
Yeah.
And he wrote under the caption, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something along the lines, "I'll see you in March."
Sounds about right.
Yeah, and then tagged the guy, and I'm like, why are you making such a big deal out of it?
So they're going back to Indiana on the 20th. Wow.
Yeah, he's excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I actually may circle that one on my calendar as well.
Yeah.
I mean, after that jab step, that nice little push-off jab step from Jimmy, and then blowing him kisses.
That was great, man. Whatever T.J. Warren didn't catch, I caught. So I have love for Jimmy Butler. So.
Oh, there we go. All right. All right, KJ. Hey, man. Whatever floats your boat, bro.
I'm just kidding.
I think we all got some love for him, too.
Oh, yeah, man. There's nothing but love for Jimmy Butler. You can't – the only thing you can hate on him is he does talk a lot of stuff, but he doesn't have a ring right now. But he still got time. So.
We'll see
Yeah.
this by the end of the year. You've been tracking the Heat for a while.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see the promise that they got.
Oh, dude, they're right on, man. they're in that boat of a year away. This year, right now, it's just like, oh my God, they're blowing on the scene. Next year is when I think when they get all the pieces together, we'll be ready to talk about it. Because then they'll have that Dragic contract off the books and a couple more other contracts. They'll be able to let James Johnson go. They'll be able to get in another big. They'll be able to draft another forward because I think that's another thing they need. So, yeah.
All right. Nice. Well, we can move on to Uncle David Fizdale.
That's my uncle,
That's
man.
your uncle, bro. Well, he says he has no ill feelings towards the New York Knicks for letting him go or after letting him go. I mean, I don't really buy that because he was only there for, what, 2 months? 3 months?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like his contract was how long? It was supposed to be
he
5
was there
years,
for
right?
Was it
18 months, but as
18?
far as this season,
It really only felt like 3 months.
nah, it did feel pretty quick. I mean, when you're that bad, no one watches you. So
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that if there were ill feelings anyways, I don't think that he would say them out loud, because obviously the guy doesn't have a job right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to coach again, so it wouldn't make sense for him to go out and talk smack about the Knicks and, oh, they treated me badly, like it wasn't really my fault.
I mean, the worst franchise in NBA history right now. There's a dumpster fire of a franchise.
I'm loving every second of it, though. I'm loving every second
Anna.
of it, though. Did you see they got smashed last night?
yeah, they definitely got whooped. But I will add this much: they have more wins after Fizdale left, which is 6, and then they did under Fizdale's tenure. They went 4-20 while 4-18 while he was the coach. But I think there's no ill will because a lot of players came to his defense, and a lot of players comforted him. A lot of players called him on the phone. They texted him. They said, "Congratulations, man! You just got fired by the Knicks. We're so happy for you." And they were being like dead serious. So that just comes to show you how much of a dumpster fire they are, and how much of a dumpster fire they will be for the next, however long they want to be a dumpster
I hope
fire.
it's not that
Well-
much longer.
Well, I think that they need to just fire everybody, everybody in their department, just start over.
They just need to get rid of Dolan. Like that's
Yeah.
step one. You got to get new management or new ownership and just kind of do it all over again because like you're missing out on big contracts like this offseason. We all thought that Kyrie and KD thought that the Knicks was an actual spot. I don't know if you guys saw the tweets that KD had talking about how nobody gives a dang about the Nets, talking about how they keep losing, how he's not playing, how Kyrie's not playing, nobody's watching him, nobody cares. And then he's kind of coming back like, well, I mean, obviously you care, you're tweeting at me. Like, you care. And then somebody had a good tweet that was like, you were never, like, you didn't have the gall to go to the Knicks. You say Brooklyn's in your, like, I'm from Brooklyn, Brooklyn's in my blood, but New York basketball is all about the Knicks. It's always been about the Knicks. At least, like, Carmelo went up, he stepped into the batter's box. He took a couple swings where you didn't even step up to the plate,
Yeah.
And that's because of how this franchise is being run right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I can get that. I think, oh man, since we are still in New York, but we have moved on to Brooklyn, I'm going to go ahead and make a strong take here. I think Kyrie Irving is going to be Russell Westbrook 2.0 because I don't think I've ever seen a point guard not be able to handle his emotions at the rate that Kyrie Irving does. And I'm not talking about on the court. On the court, he does fine. It's off the court because you never know which mood he's going to be in. He could stay in that mood for weeks. He could stay in that mood for days, or it could just be hours. But when you're that moody and you have, I forgot what they officially call that, but
It's not like bipolar. It's just
I was
kind of
gonna
like
say bipolar.
he's all over the map. That's
it's something dealing with like mood swings. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, when you're that up and down, man, it's hard to figure out who you really are. And KD is emotional too. But at least KD is stable enough to be able to handle everything that comes at him. So I think Kyrie Irving is a little weaker than what he would ever admit. And he is a terrible leader. So all of that combined together with the fact that KD, I don't think has ever had to really lead because
he's been a good secondary guy.
Yeah, for sure. In OKC, Russell Westbrook took the wheel. So we'll see, man. I don't think there's a real leader on this team right now. And until they establish one this season or going forward in the future, Brooklyn will always be looked at as a team without leadership. They can win a championship without leadership because greatness is always there. But I just think that leadership piece is going to be very important.
Because it's not like Kyrie's going to step back from the role that he has proclaimed as the leader, because we saw what happened in Cleveland. You know, they won a championship when LeBron was their leader, but there was still tension because Kyrie felt that he had earned this role, and then we saw it again with the Celtics last year and the year before that. You know, he wants the keys, but he doesn't really show the leadership vibes, and it's not like KD is going to really step into that and kind of overtake, as he didn't do in Golden State. It was still Steph's team. KD just kind of led on the court.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I will say that last season was probably the most vocal we've ever heard Kevin Durant, only because of the Draymond Green situation. So I seriously don't know. But as far as New York is concerned, there are two New York teams on two totally opposite ends of the spectrum. I want to give respect to the New York Knicks for at least being relevant last decade. I don't know if they will be relevant this decade. I know it's just starting. We're only a few days in, but I am very, very confident to say that I think the Knicks will only have a year worth of relevancy between 2020 and 2029, and I'm willing to sign on the dotted line to that.
Dang, that's pretty.
Yeah.
That's vocal. I like that.
Yeah.
That's bold. I don't know. I feel like the Knicks are going to return to greatness. You know, we're going back to '85. We're going back to the '80s. We're gonna.
Yeah, but it's gonna take a while. I mean, look at them right now.
Well, look
like
how
I
much
said,
they
like
got to build, man.
they need to restructure their whole organization at this point because it's so bad.
Yeah, it is bad. And not to mention, look at Kevin Knox, man. Like, that was your first-round pick last year. This dude is barely getting any playing time right now. So either you're going to go through Kevin Knox and R.J. Barrett and live through the woes, or you're going to live through the woes of going through veterans who could really care less about being there. They just really came because they're collecting the check.
I mean, they had a lot of cap space there for him. You know, Julius Randle got that big money.
They did, but New York is the type of team that'll settle for no reason.
Absolutely. All right, well, perfect. Well, we're going to be right back. We're going to be talking about some injuries, so don't go too far. Catch us on Elevation 52 Sports.
What does it take to be on air? It's not just the personality, though it does help. It takes drive, creativity, passion, and the willingness to develop yourself and truly find what makes you special. At Go Mile High, students are given this chance to become something great. You never know. Someone you're hearing right now could be the next big thing, and you could be the first to know how it all started. So keep listening, because you never know what's next on GoMileHigh.com.
And welcome back to the Backboard. We are still on week 20. I am still Joe. I'm joined with Anna, KJ, and Ty behind the glass. Before we were leaving, we were going to talk about some injuries. We've had a couple big ones that came up this last couple weeks. The most recent one was Anthony Davis hurting his back against the Knicks, trying to block our boy Big Money Bags Julius Randle's dunk. So it didn't look too bad from my perspective, as we were just talking about. But, you know, Anthony Davis with a history of injuries, is this starting to be concerning for what's going to happen in L.A.?
I mean, when was the last season that we had Antonio Davis not get an injury, you know? He's like a liability to the Lakers right now.
Yeah, no question. Honestly, I think the last season was 2011, 2012 back at Kentucky.
See, and like, I mean, he's not getting any younger. None of us are getting any younger, you know? Like, your body like when you injure yourself, your body, it's not the same as it was before, even if you go to rehab or whatever. So he is a liability, and this is why I keep on saying, even though the Clippers, I know that I said like in the beginning when we started our show that I was more afraid of the Clippers and the Lakers and the Western Conference. I still am, because of that liability with Anthony Davis.
I mean, he's scary. I think the more weight he's put on, like, since you were saying, last time he was really healthy was with Kentucky when he was, like, my size. He was, like, you know, 6'11".
So get him on a diet right now, Joe.
I mean, he's carrying a lot more muscle. He's carrying a lot more weight now. And it's proven to, like, it's not been super beneficial because he's an absolute monster in the paint due to the weight that he's gained. But since then, it's ailment after ailment. And it's really unfortunate to see because he's such a good and fun player to watch.
Yeah, he's definitely fun and, like you said, like a good player.
Yeah, I think this season he's only had to sit out 2 to 3 games due to injuries so far. So he's done better this season than he has done in the past. But I still think this man is, like you said, Anna, he's such a liability. And when you take into consideration the fact that Anthony Davis is a top 5, top 6 player, depending on who you ask. And you need his presence on the court at all times because he brings a dynamic of rebounding and scoring that not many other players bring in the NBA. So I think that alone plagues problems for them. Not to mention, if you've watched the Lakers anytime this season, whether it was for a half or for a full game or for a few games, you'll recognize that when teams don't get physical and let them run their offense, Lakers are flawless. But as soon as a team gets into them just a little bit and they start to make them second guess what it is they like to do, the Lakers really start to dial it back a little bit. They start to get a little conservative rather than be aggressive. And I think sometimes that can hurt the Lakers. And I think with them facing the Clippers and with the Clippers having what they have, everyone's begging for a Western Conference Finals between the Clippers and Lakers. I think if it were to come to pass, you'll see a scenario where the Clippers could beat the Lakers 4-1, 4-2 based off physicality alone. It's not even about talent anymore. You're about as evenly talented on both sides because both you guys have three-point shooting and defense, and both you guys have two of the best wings this game has ever seen. So,
I mean, the Lakers are just so big. You know, still, even without Anthony Davis, I think that they'll be able to cruise for a little bit and let him get fully healthy beforehand. You know, give a little bit of a bigger of a role to Dwight Howard, give JaVale some more minutes in the paint, and they'll be all right. But with him being one of the main parts of that offense and of that defense, it's gonna be just the first true test that we're gonna see for the Lakers.
See, and I think that what you just said right now of how Davis is one of their main guys. I think that's where the Lakers are screwing up, you know, because of that liability, you know. We know that Anthony Davis is this amazing player, but I really do think that they shouldn't be making him into a starting player.
I mean,
right now
because
of that liability, though.
I don't know.
Because of that liability.
When you give up your whole team, all of your young prospects, except for Kyle Kuzma,
who is on the trading block,
now, which is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Same.
Don't dye your hair like that, man. You
Well, how about that headband with Caruso? What's worse?
Okay,
What's worse?
JaVale told him to do that, and JaVale was right.
worse?
Cut his hair and
Just
wear that headband. He looks good.
Just cut everything out.
Yeah, just
go
cut it,
bald. And
all right, are you
do
going
that
bald,
headband.
Anna? All right, are you think you're gonna go bald? You don't. Yeah.
Dude,
If I was in Caruso's shoes, I would.
No, you save your hair. All right, that is my. I'm starting to go bald. All right, it's freaking me out. All right, I pulled out a clump of hair this morning. I was like, oh no, you know.
Oh my God, come on, Joey, man, it's growing back, man.
I mean, yeah, slowly. It's all right. It's fine. All right, well, I'm worried. I'm gonna start wearing a headband around. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
Start calling him
That'll be
Caruso then, KJ.
I wish I had those hops. That'd be cool too. Well, let's talk about another nasty thing. Moving past the hairs. You guys see Joel Embiid's finger?
That was so nasty.
Dude, that was so freakish, man.
It looked like it wasn't his finger. I'm gonna be honest. In the picture, it was so much lighter and so discolored from how cockeyed it was sitting. It looked like a prosthetic to me.
Yeah.
Like it was disgusting.
See, and the thing that gets to me, the one thing that gets to me, how nonchalant he was walking off the court, just hanging on to his dislocated finger and hand. And I'm like, if that was me, I would be crying on the floor. I couldn't even get up. I would be
From a finger injury.
No, because you look at it, even looking at it, it was freaky.
Well, Ben Simmons.
Imagine looking at your own hand, Joe, and your fingers that.
I have. I've done that before.
I would
Not
freak
that
out.
bad, but it's I've had the top knuckle bent the wrong way before,
would
and
freak
it feels
out.
terrible.
I would
but
freak
you got
out.
all this adrenaline still going through your body.
Exactly. So, I mean, to his point, I've had the top of my finger cut off by accident before. So, I know, that it hurts. But when you got that adrenaline going, like you said, Joe, it's just you just keep going. Mentally, you're in the moment. You're just like, it is what it is. You know, let's
Just
get
put it
this
back
taken
in.
care of. Yeah, let's taken care
Just
of.
pop
Let's
it back
finish up.
in.
Give me some tape and let me go finish this because I'm Joel Embiid and I need to be out here. I'm glad it wasn't anything more serious
Yeah,
than
yeah.
that. No, with his history of injuries.
And then he went back that same day, right? Correct me, to play they went to check it.
He said he went back in the game. He was just playing with one hand. So.
Oh.
That sounds like the Joel Embiid thing to say.
He probably had a couple burgers on the sideline. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna set this one out for a little bit. Hey Ben, will you take? Hey Al, all right, get down there, help me out a little bit, okay? I need a little rest. I mean, it
That
was
was a
gross.
freaky. It was gross.
Oof. All right, yeah. Let's not
Yeah.
talk about that anymore. We got a couple more stars that are hurt. We got a date set for the return of Vic Oladipo, which
Oh,
you
yes.
have been so waiting for.
Dude, man, I am so happy, man. That's my guy, man. I love Victor Oladipo, man.
I mean, it's gonna be great. That's a missing piece that you're at the Pacers that you have been kept an eye on as well. You loving these East teams, KJ? You've got your eye on these
Yeah,
little
for sure.
sleepers.
But and we talked about it in the last segment about T.J. Warren versus Jimmy Butler. What Jimmy Butler doesn't recognize is Victor Oladipo is their best defender outside of Malcolm Brogdon. So he's probably going to be on him for a majority of the game. Malcolm Brogdon, I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he played yesterday or not, but if he did, I'm almost sure he guarded Kendrick Nunn because coming off that screen, T.J. Warren was not going to be able to keep up with him. So
no, I barely even know who T.J. Warren is. So
only reason I know T.J. Warren is because for a minute there, I thought the Suns they had like a little team there that was fun and energetic. I thought they were going to take that next step, and T.J. Warren was on that team. So I started to take a liking for T.J. Warren, but now it's just like he's just another player. I don't really, So.
He's just average now.
Yeah, he's just another player now.
we also got Kyrie Irving still hurt. Hurt.
What happened to him?
He doesn't have a team. He's taking the Steph Curry route. He's kind of just chilling.
When's Curry coming back? You said after January, KJ.
I did. Curry is scheduled to come back
Yeah.
at the end of January.
That's like my reliable source for the Warriors. I need to know what Steph is coming back because I miss him.
Yeah, the entire league misses him. The ratings are showing
Mm-hmm.
that Steph Curry is being missed like a lot. So, honestly, Steph Curry is expected to come back by the end of January. Klay Thompson is expected to come back by the end of February.
Oh, okay. Thompson's coming back? I thought that he was just going to sit out the rest of the season.
He plans on coming back. But
Oh, okay.
Keep his minutes limited. You know, just let him sit in the corner and shoot, get back into the game feel. That would be good. We got a little breaking news from the
What happened?
Celtics fan who threw a drink
Ah.
at the Spurs bench last night.
Oh, yeah. Basketball was so crazy last night.
It was.
Dude.
He's banned for life. This
What?
fan just got
so
banned
what
for
happened?
life.
So what happened? Because I saw the video, but I couldn't really tell what was
Just
going
fans
on.
being fans.
Yeah, so
man.
So he threw the drink.
he threw the drink like intentionally on the floor, and honestly, he wasn't trying to get it close to none of the players. He was trying to. His drink was supposed to float over to where the ref's table was, but let's see.
Oh, so it was
fell a
like
little bit.
it was like a protest to the refs,
Yeah,
technically.
it was. He was trying to throw his Michelob Ultra down to the refs,
Oh,
let them know
okay.
this is how I feel, but the Ultra ended up just spilling all over the floor. So.
Imagine being
the
like,
poor towel boy.
Nah, yeah, you know, like
So
first
is
off,
he-
first off, poor Ultra, man. That good Ultra's just gone.
All right, let's
So
not
is
call it
he-
good ultra.
is
All right? That's a
he-
golfing beer. All right, you bring 12 of those onto the back nine, you're starting to have a good time. Let's not. But I can't believe who throws a drink, man, onto a.
It's not that
Angry
serious.
fans.
Like it's a baseball, football,
Mm-hmm.
soccer. I can understand, because like it's grass. It's not the worst thing in the world, but like it's not like you're not going to be found out in basketball.
Yeah.
You're right there. You're right there. Everybody's gonna see you. Thank goodness we didn't have what was his name? I just forgot his name. That's terrible. The point guard for Isaiah Thomas. Sorry, Isaiah Thomas out there. He'd come up. He'd kick that fan's butt.
Yeah,
Give him a
he
piece
sure
of his
would.
mind.
so is he banned for like just Celtics games or all NBA games?
No, all Celtics games. He's
Oh,
no
okay.
longer allowed in.
But he can
TD
like go to
Garden.
other states and.
Yeah, because.
Oh, okay. But imagine being like banned from like your city.
You're wearing a fake mustache in the games.
Yeah.
like-
Like you do that thing where
Well-
like the coats and like a kid.
Yeah, but he would have to change his entire identity. I'm pretty sure they got like driver's license,
Yeah.
thumbprints, all that stuff on them. So
I mean, when was the last time you had to show your ID at a game, though?
You don't,
When,
but
when you get arrested.
exactly when
they
you get
it.
arrested, they will take your wallet away from you
Yeah.
because you literally. What are you going to grab? What are you going to do? You can't run. So
I'm gonna try and run.
You're not.
I've
gonna
never been.
outrun
I've
the
never been
police.
arrested, so It's,
You've never been arrested?
why is that such a surprise? Look, I
Because
mean,
I don't believe it.
okay, all right, Anna. Okay.
I think Joe. I think you're a good guy.
I mean, I just did get, 2 days ago, I got acquitted of all my charges for my expired license, expired registration. So, I think I'm all right so
there
far.
you go. There you go, man. I love that, man. That is beautiful.
It's starting the year off right, you know.
Exactly, man. New year, new decade. Got to start it off, paying off your.
My due debts to society. All right, Brandon. All right, well, we got a couple more injuries. Blake Griffin had surgery. He's done.
Yeah. That they need to blow the Detroit team up, man. I'm gonna say that topic for another day because time will not permit for me to really talk about how I feel about the Pistons, but it's time.
I think so too. I mean, D Rose gets kind of out there trying to do it all himself again, and that's just kind of asking for trouble.
Yeah, man. One more ACL, he's out of there too.
He's done. I love Blake Griffin. We've had this conversation before. We had that conversation last week, and it's really a shame to see that he keeps having to have these season-ending injuries. Because I felt like this was the kind of the year for them to prove that they can still compete with their twin towers down there with Blake and with Andre Drummond. Derrick Rose is playing well, but that's a shame.
It is a shame. I think we're looking at a situation where load management is about to become very, very heavy. They thought it was a problem then, but it's really about to become a problem now. And in the new CBA, when it's time to come up in the next year or two, this is going to be brought up about possibly minimizing the number of games that players are playing to minimize the number of injuries. Because this season, with all of the stars out, I mean, you have arguably right now that possibly would play this year but could possibly sit out. You have 3 of your top 15, 20 stars sitting out. That's a lot of viewership that you have lost because I think as far as fan base is concerned, there's no one who has a greater fan base than Steph Curry that's close to LeBron James at least.
Mm-hmm.
So his fans are not watching. Kevin Durant, he has a decent following for what it's worth. So
I'm thinking that we get vacation days put into their contracts, kind of as load management options, for the future, because you were saying from the CBA, give them an opportunity to rest because I hate when stars get injured. It makes for really boring seasons. The viewership goes down. I miss KD. I really miss Clay and Steph.
Yeah.
I miss seeing Boogie. I don't like when AD's hurt. So we're gonna see some big changes, I hope, coming up to make sure that our superstars can stay healthy.
No doubt. So with the news that I gave earlier about the Warriors' possibility of returning, I would advise everyone that if you're in the Denver area to get your tickets early because the Warriors will be coming to town on March 3rd, 2020. So get them while they're cheap because once those announcements come, they're going to shoot up. So.
All right, perfect. Well, KJ kind of led us right into that one. We'll be talking about the Nuggets, not the Warriors, when we come back from break.
Go Mile High, your college radio for sports, movies, and games. Run by students, for students, and more.
Let's see what they can do here from the 5.
Sports news, live games, and discussions about just about everything.
Disney turning their rides in their parks into movies.
So close so many times, and to have that snatched away.
Come and join us every day for your favorite shows, only at GoMileHigh.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Mavericks fans, hold that L on the way out. We're going right into the Nuggets talk. Last night, we had the Joker coming through clutch, throwing that big booty around in the paint.
Being a bully.
Being a bully. That's what I like to see.
I'm trying to make sure I say this right. The big butt bully.
The big butt bully. We got Big Booty Judy and the Big Butt Bully. All right. Nice. All right, we got a new nickname for him.
Hey, there you go.
I mean, that man always looks like he's fighting bears anyway, so it's all good. Well, last night we beat the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets beat the Dallas Mavericks 107-106. Go ahead bucket from Nikola Jokic with 7 seconds left?
6 seconds.
It's beautiful. I
was
love calling number
screaming,
15
yeah.
in the last little bit. It's been great for Denver. We used to call on our old number 15 all the time too.
Yeah.
Which was just beautiful. Yeah, he had 21 points in the third quarter and kind of just really swayed the game for us, I thought. I didn't get to catch too much of it because I was working. But what did you guys think about
I
it?
watched the second half. It was right after he started getting aggressive, where that Jokic that we were all missing came back. And the 21 points in the third, it was a third quarter, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that I read or I saw that was like breaking for him, like a record, because he didn't score that many records, those many points in one quarter. So not only did we see aggressive Jokic, he made moves last night.
Yeah, he definitely made some moves. I can definitely see that being a record. I haven't read up on that, but I don't think you're wrong, because when we think about how Jokic scores, he paces himself. But last night he was like, let's get this game over, man. Let me go ahead and carry this Denver Nuggets team on my back
Don't you
again.
say sorry, team. Don't you do it. I saw where you were looking.
I was not. I was not. That would be very disrespectful to talk about the Denver Nuggets that way, especially when it's not true.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that for you, KJ. Well, I mean, 21 points in a 12-minute quarter is always very impressive. When you have more points in minutes, it's always good.
Yeah, so she covered the second half. I'll talk about the first half. It was a heavy dosage of Gary Harris and Jeremy Grant, because those guys really, really kept the Nuggets in the game.
Oh, my God, Jeremy Grant last night.
It was a beast.
I feel that there was a certain point in the game when the way that he was covering Luka, I think that's what I was most impressed by.
I was surprised that they didn't put Torrey Craig on him. I thought that's why they put him in the starting lineup. But
yeah,
I mean, Luka's he moves very similar to Jokic in their speed.
Yeah.
They have
he's smaller than Jokic, but I can see,
and
but
faster,
he's slow.
But they have very methodical approach, kind of how they're gonna lull you, and then they're gonna get this nice little floater above you. And I saw that you actually had retweeted this, Anna, the double block on, and that's kind of where I'm taking that from. Is he was able to, Jeremy Grant was just able to pop both balls up right out of Luka's hand, and that was I'm painting a picture for you guys that are listening right here. All right, I'm just really painting it for you. But all right, dude.
Hey, before we go any further though, did y'all see Brandon get into it with the Denver Nuggets Twitter last night?
No, I did not. What was
I saw a part of it, but I was running late for work this morning, so I was I'll leave it for later.
I'm gonna pull this up and I'm gonna pull it up. But as far as continuing to talk about the game, Kristaps Porzingis he didn't play last night. Did they have a really big impact? Sure, because I think Porzingis definitely would have been guarding Jokic down the stretch there.
Yeah, I want 7'3" covering 6'11". That always works out.
But I think that alone allowed Jokic to be able to feel more comfortable going into the paint. I mean, no offense to Dorian Finney-Smith, but
taking away the Mavericks, just ignoring the Mavericks for a second, we've seen I've seen the change in Jokic. He's been playing different. He's been more aggressive. He's been more he's been scoring more points. And I think that last night was the key of the final transformation, of him being the bully.
Oh yeah.
I'm also reading these tweets right now. This is pretty funny.
Oh man.
I did see the one where he tweeted at the two of you guys. Zach's joining us as well, at KJ the Goat and Orange Mamba 22.
And Zach just he just sits there and casually looked at the tweet. He doesn't respond back. He doesn't try to help me out or anything. I mean,
you don't respond to the haters or nothing. I actually don't know what you guys are talking about.
Hey, you remember last night he tweeted at both of us about the Warriors game sucking and how
Yeah.
Did you see him get into it with the Denver Nuggets last night on Twitter?
Did. No, let me see.
Do you have your Twitter downloaded on your phone, Zach? I've always kind of been
have
wondering.
a phone?
Do you have the
He has a phone.
Or is it one of those flip phones?
It's pretty close to that. Yeah.
Because every time that there's any interaction with Zach, I have not yet to get a response.
He responds back from time to time whenever I tweet at him, but hey,
I've been trying to slide in these
he's
DMs
a busy
for a while,
and
I get no response. It's bad. Oh, okay.
No, honestly, I do have a Twitter, but I just honestly don't use it. Just kind of like Facebook. Like it's pretty much an outgoing and no, incoming essentially.
Exit only.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's because of the man. It's because of the man that just walked in the room as to why I really use my Twitter a little more than what I should.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, same. Because I didn't tweet as much.
For real.
Then you start hanging out with Tanner.
I started to see how much he tweets, and
Yeah.
I used to be like, okay, well maybe I can do this. Maybe let's put a couple tweets out here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Like I used to not tweet at all while I was watching a game.
Yeah.
You saw me last night.
Yeah,
and it's all Tanner.
Quantity over quality tweets.
Twitter's how you stir the pot.
Now that's real
And
though.
everybody's got to stir the pot.
That's
every
where
once
all
in a
the
while.
juice is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still quantity over quality. It's all right.
But I know we have a rundown here, and I don't. We could stick to it, but when things come up in the world of sports, we're not going to stick to it. So here's the narrative that's going on right now, man. A 21-year-old, whatever you want to classify him as.
A 20-year-old.
He's 20?
He's 20.
He's 20. Okay. Luka Doncic was complaining on nearby every call last night on
That's how
every
he is, though.
play. It's ridiculous
Well, no,
how
this
much
is
this
what-
man cries.
It's
man.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous, but that's how he is.
It's what we in the media have done. I'm sorry. We have given him all the power because it used to be LeBron all over SportsCenter. It was LeBron. That narrative has changed now to Luka, the young stud, the guy that's getting all these triple doubles. I can't scroll through my Instagram feed without seeing at least 5 Luka Doncic posts. So we've given him this idea that he is the superstar. He was number 1 in All-Star voting for the front court for the West. There's a reason that he's going to be complaining about these calls, and it's because we've given him the podium, basically, to get what he wants, to be the superstar, to get the Harden calls, to do these kind of things. And it's only going to get worse, but he's also getting better.
I blame this on Adam Silver, man. I've hit on this many a times on this show. I think this is way too player-friendly what this league has turned into, and I think that's why certain players feel entitled to act. How do I want to put this? Because I want to say this nicely. I want to keep this show on the airways. Certain guys feel entitled to say things and do things that they don't necessarily have to say or do. So that's ultimately where I'm coming from with Luka Doncic. You're not entitled, bro. You haven't won anything. You haven't done anything.
He's won Rookie of the Year.
Dude, a lot of players win Rookie of the Year. That doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean you go on to be great. So what I'm saying is prove to us that you can get your team to the playoffs. Then how about you get them to a conference finals? Then you get them to the NBA finals. As you grow your resume, then you have more room to talk. Until then, please be humble. Trae Young has all the room in the world as a 6'1" point guard to call for foul calls, but he shoots from 30 and 35. And when he does drive in, if he gets it, great. If he doesn't, he'll look at the ref and then he'll keep going because he knows he has to get back on defense because he owes it to his team as the leader to get back. Stop worrying about foul calls. You haven't earned the right to get the fouls just yet.
I was about to say, but that's just kind of the part of the NBA right now. You have LeBron, you have Harden, Jokic does it quite a bit too. Luka does it. It's part of the game. I think like anytime I watch basketball, if you get touched, if you get bumped, there's this this hesitation of flopping.
To your point earlier in the show, and a perfect example, Kemba Walker. Kemba Walker was complaining last night, and then they got him thrown out the game off of a couple of words. So the culture is not good right now as far as players feeling entitled, man. It's
But does it change the way that you watch the game, though? Like, is it really affecting, how much you enjoy the game?
Not me personally as a fan.
See, I can see people just tuning in just to see the dramatization of it, see the drama of it.
I see.
But as a fan, sometimes it does get to me. I'm like, oh, just stop complaining and just play, So I guess that it just depends on the person. Like KJ just said, it doesn't bother him.
I mean, it doesn't bother me either. I like to see the guys that get the calls because they've earned the calls, like your James Hardens, like your LeBrons, like Steph gets some calls too. But I mean, I was going to say what Zach said about Jokic does it all the time. And that frustrates me because, one, you're not going to get back on defense anyways. More often than not. If they're running in transition, you're playing 4-on-5, and that's tough. And Jokic isn't. He's the frustration foul. He doesn't get the call. He's gonna swipe at the first guy running by him with the ball, and like that frustrates me as a fast team to have our leader, the Nuggets leader, be kind of like the first one to throw up his hands and kind of give up on the play.
Yeah, when you're playing 4 fouls, that's when I get a little upset when I see Jokic when he doesn't get the call he wants, and then he cries to the ref and he gets a technical. That's when it becomes a problem, or even Harden for the instance.
Yeah, for example, you go back to opening night, he had 3 fouls within 4 minutes. So sometimes he can be a little undisciplined because in certain moments he feels entitled that he may get foul calls or he may not get foul calls called on him because he is a star or in other people's eyes a superstar. That
also happens in football too with pass interference. Some people will kind of over-exaggerate. They'll kind of flop around. So it's part of multiple sports, but it does get a little bit more excessive when you get to basketball because a lot of players do play for the foul.
Yeah, I mean, now if we're going to figure out who exactly to blame this on, we all know who to blame it on.
Marcus Smart.
No.
Oh.
Manu Ginobili. That's where it's all started. He was the flop king before Marcus Smart. Go back and look at Manu Ginobili's highlights. You know what I'm talking about. Manu Ginobili was the biggest flop I ever seen. He did not want to guard anybody on defense. So what he would do is flop, get a charge, and he'd clap it up like he just did something. Basically, he just saved Tim Duncan from getting a triple-double with blocks. That's all he did. So, ultimately, that's just where it all starts for me. So,
well, I'm hoping that we don't see any flopping on Sunday. You guys going to the game? Nuggets versus Clippers? Anybody got tickets?
I'm trying to look for tickets.
The way my bank account is setting up, it takes a day or two for my savings to get switched over to my checking. So by then, the weekend has rolled around. So now the bank is closed and now they're done processing. So the process won't be completed until Monday, which is after the game.
We should get you a Cash App. We should do that.
I guess it kind of depends if Clippers do play on Saturday, because if they do play on Saturday, then that means you're not going to see Kawhi, or you're going to see less likely of Kawhi on Sunday and probably less Paul George. So if it's their first game, they play Friday, then the Sunday, then maybe scalping for tickets. But
yeah, for all the listeners who are listening, if you're irritated by what I just said, basically what I was saying is I'm not going.
He's out. He's not coming back.
But I would like score predictions. Not score predictions. I would like to predict who will win. I am going to start it off. I think the Nuggets are going to beat the Clippers. I do. I think the Nuggets are going to be healthy. I think Will Barton and Paul Millsap are going to be back, and I think they're going to make a run for it. And I think it's going to be another close one, but I think this time Jamal Murray will be the closer this time. And I think Jamal Murray is going to give around 35 to 40 points on Patrick Beverley. So.
I love where your head's at, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. I think that this is where we kind of take a run and we try and take over that first place, because if there is a possibility that AD sits out for a little while, we might be able to make a little ground up, get some ground from the Rockets.
Mr. Load Management is coming. It's
almost
time.
Father Time is here.
Yeah, LeBron is going to start it up in just a second. Just give it a few games.
I have the Nuggets too. I mean, we've seen the change that they've had these past few weeks, and I don't see anything changing.
Depending if Kawhi plays, I'm going to pick the Clippers, but if he doesn't play, I'm picking the Nuggets.
All right, there you go.
There we go. That's our predictions for Sunday's game. We'll be right back, guys.
Hey Colorado sports fans, you're listening to GoMileHigh.com, a student-operated station live from the Colorado Media School studios here in Belmar, giving you a different perspective on all things current.
Stop torturing yourself, man! Live in the now!
So stay tuned to see what's coming up next on GoMileHigh.com, Colorado's sports lifestyle.
Show wing!
Welcome back, everybody. We are the Backboard. I am Joe. I'm joined with Anna, KJ. We got Zach and Ty behind the glass. Before we left, we were talking about the Nuggets versus the Clippers, but we're going to totally change gears and talk about jersey retirements.
Yeah, but we're going to also change gears because we have a sound bite here that I want to get into before we talk about this Dwayne Wade jersey retirement.
Well, and then there's one more, one more gone but not forgotten, and that's our sweet Lucy. At the age of 12, she was run over in our driveway.
Oh, like that?
What?
Where did you find that?
Oh my God!
So our PD, Josh Dover, who is over the studio that we currently air our show in, he sent that to me, and it's talking about a man giving a story about his dog getting ran over, 12-year-old dog, and the man was just trying. The play-by-play guy was just trying to
Do the
make the call.
play-by-play.
He was just trying to make the call. And
See, like, is that like an issue? Because like there's like a time and place, you know. Obviously, like when you're doing a play-by-play, I'm not gonna be like, oh, my dog died. It got run over, you know.
Oh, like that?
But like, I don't know. I think that I have a dog. I'm a dog mom.
Yeah,
I love my dog.
Talk to his dog, Mom.
I love my dog. You know, if that would happen to my dog, I don't think that I would be talking about it on air. I wouldn't be like, yeah, Trapo got run over, you know.
That's not a story that you end a blowout game on.
Yeah.
I don't.
What was it like? I need to have more context on the game. Like, was it almost over, KJ? Like,
I don't
was
know.
It close?
I had to text Josh and ask him, but as far as I know, that's the cut that we got. So
Unless it was like Air Bud or something, then it could have been a little bit more appealing.
Not Air
But we're
Bud.
talking about jersey retirement, then a dog dying. That's a
that's
what a U-turn.
It is a U-turn. So now we're going to U-turn the other way, so that the young man who
Joe
is hosting
is-
this show
Joe
can get
is-
himself together.
Gosh, I'm sorry. That was bad.
Oh god.
Oh, that was just unfortunate timing. I hope the guy got dunked on at least.
I hope.
Well, we're retiring the dogs. Number 2, we got Dwayne Wade getting a 3-day jersey retirement ceremony in Miami. They're playing 2 games, right? They're not playing 3.
This is going to
Not
be
2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7.
yeah. I think it's going to be just 2.
I have missed you so much, Ty. Oh my gosh. So what is there like a break in between, or are they going back to back, and then the 3rd day you come in and they sell a bunch of tickets to like watch a jersey go all the way up? Does
Yeah,
it go
well,
like
actually, the
segments up the rafters?
Yeah,
Like
the jersey's
section?
going to be retired the 2nd day. So it's going to be February 22nd against the Cleveland Cavaliers without LeBron James.
You think he'll be in attendance?
If the Lakers don't play that day, I can rest assure you he's going to
He's
take
gonna
that
be there.
long flight to Miami and then take that long flight back to LA. So
Anything for the banana boat crew, you know.
yeah, well, I mean, outside of LeBron James, the other 2 don't look to be making the playoffs. So I mean, why not?
I mean, yeah, if Chris Paul came down to Denver to watch
Yeah.
him play when he was in Portland,
Yeah,
I think Chris Paul can make the trip.
Exactly. Not to mention, with all of this load management going on right now, I definitely think that they could take a game off. Why not?
So
Maybe not
LeBron
Melo.
just he's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think the entire Banana Boat crew is
Mhm.
going to be there. Chris Bosh, of course, is going to be there. Shaq is going to be there. All the old heads are going to be there. So
Is he deserving of a jersey retirement?
it's Dwayne Wade we're talking about, man. I think Dwayne Wade he's deserving of whatever he wants, man. I mean, 3-time champion, 4-time finals appearance. 1-time MVP. So yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So
No, I agree. I think he's made this ultimate sacrifice with like salary, getting, taking that drop just to get players in so he can get another ring or 2. No, I totally agree. Dwayne Wade's one of the best, and he almost came to Denver a couple times.
I was so excited that year when he went to Cleveland. We were like, oh, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? And then it was like, oh, we're going to go to the Bulls. Oh, no, we're going to go to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Come teach Jamal something.
Yeah,
Come
please and thank you.
That'd be great.
So Dwayne Wade will be the 5th Miami Heat player to have their jersey retired. So
And that's just because Udonis hasn't retired yet.
no, that's real. I don't understand what does he have over this franchise, dude? Like, he sits on the bench and does absolutely nothing. He's been doing that for the last 5 years.
Oh my God!
So-
He gets to sit on a bench courtside. He gets paid to watch a basketball game. KJ.
Like, he's a player coach, literally.
He's gonna get that 20 mark. He might set the record. Just sitting there.
Yeah,
on the bench.
honestly, I think what it is that he eventually is going to transition over to coach. I think they're holding that spot for David Fizdale just in case he decides to come back and join the staff.
No.
If not, then I think Udonis Haslem will take the position.
I can see that coming. I mean, as you've said, he's been sitting there for 5 years. He knows the offense better than anybody else.
Sure.
He's Spoelstra's boy.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, Pat Riley hasn't gotten rid of him, so
Something's working.
something. I don't know what, but where does Dwayne Wade rank among the all-time shooting guards?
Well, he's not number 1, obviously. That would go to Jordan. I'd say he's a
Are
top.
you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Just making sure that you know that.
Okay, I appreciate that.
No, I was kidding. I'd say he's top 10. He's probably on that 5th spot, I would say, around. I can't just think on the top of my head who it is, but he's definitely like our generation or my generation's definitely, top 3, top 5 for sure.
Talking about old heads.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. For me, I would probably it's between 3 and 4. I think what Dwayne Wade has accomplished in his time in the NBA has just been nothing short of amazing. We've been so grateful for his presence and what he has brought to the game, his athleticism, his genius. He has one of the most amazing fadeaway jump shots because it's so acrobatic. Like, you would think he's not going in, and Dwayne Wade will find a way to make sure that it goes in, and he is a killer in the mid-range. I mean, not to mention he's one of the best defensive shooting guards we've ever seen in the history of the game. And the reason why I say 3 or 4, of course we all know 1 and 2 is MJ, Kobe. Jerry West, there's a reason Jerry West is the logo of the NBA. We always have to take that into consideration. So that's why I have him about 3 or 4. I think if I just had to sign my life over to it, I would say 3.
3?
3. I would say 3. I think he's accomplished enough. He's done enough. He's made enough of an impact on the game to last that would make him 3 all time.
See, I kind of I have him between 3 and 4 just because of Manu. Just because of what he...
Who?
Manu Ginobili. Look at the rings he's got. He's got rings, too.
Oh, my God.
He's got just as many rings.
If you know anything about basketball, you know it's not about the rings.
But it could be for all time.
In most cases, that's what most people take into consideration. But if they did, then Robert Horry would be one of the best players of all time.
You don't think that he is?
I think he's one of the greatest three-point shooting bigs we've ever seen. But that's about it, man. Honestly, I don't see him as up there.
That's why I said 3 or 4. I see that's with 3 or 4. I'm looking more at the generation that I got to see because it's going to obviously be Jordan, Kobe, and then 3 or 4 right there. Those are the 2 guys that I got to watch. I don't really know all too many shooting guards that were better than those guys. So that's fine. Anna, what are you thinking?
I'd go 5.
5?
Yeah, like he's definitely in the top 10. And it's cool to see that they're retiring his jersey. I think that he deserves it.
Well, of course. He's been the Heat's franchise, him and Udonis. So let's talk about who else is going to get their jersey retired.
Who else do you guys think?
I don't want to pick the obvious one. I'll say the one for y'all, but I would probably say Carmelo Anthony.
You took mine, KJ.
Okay, well, you know
The
what?
heck?
I'll let you.
One.
I haven't made the argument for him, so I'll let you make the argument.
Where's
for
it
him.
going up though?
In Denver, that's where it all started.
You think
So
they're
go
gonna
ahead and take it away,
15?
Anna. Go ahead and take it away.
It's going to be here in Denver. If he ever retires their jersey, it's going to be here in Denver. That's where it's all started.
But it can't be because there's another 15 who's arguably as good.
Well, I think this may be one of those cases where
change the number.
Change
the number.
Either you change the number or you have 2 15s retired.
That would be pretty cool. What jersey do you think's going up? What color?
The light blue.
The powder
The
blue
light
one?
blue, yeah, the really pretty one. Yeah, that one. With the yellow.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the obvious. LeBron James.
Yeah, that's why. I
But
said-
with who?
Put
With
it up
who?
in all three. I don't care.
Yeah.
All three.
No,
arenas.
one. You get to choose
No,
one.
I get to
Joe.
pick three because
No,
it's gonna
one.
go up. It's gonna go up in Cavaliers. It's
yeah.
gonna go up in Miami, and it will go up in LA. If Kobe gets 2, LeBron gets 1.
No, I think he's
No,
just going to
no.
Miami.
LeBron is going to have to win some rings with an S in LA for it to go up there.
Probably, but I think it's still gonna go up.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting one in Miami. He's won 2.
Yeah.
He's going into Cleveland, obviously, because he's brought one back.
Yeah.
And depending if it goes, I don't think he'll be in LA, honestly.
I don't
It's
either.
just too much.
Yeah,
The goat.
The goat.
The goat. Three jerseys, 3 tees.
There we go. Hey, there's a correlation there. Hey, I don't know if you all caught it.
I'm looking at him right now.
Now, I appreciate that. You know, if you didn't catch the reference, you can follow me, KJ, on Twitter at KJ the Goat with 3 T's. So, there you go. Zach, who you got?
Which one?
For who's the next jersey retirement, so that when they retire, their jersey's gonna go up in the rafters.
Oh.
There's another pretty obvious one.
Man, I'd probably say, if it hasn't been done yet, I would say Dirk.
Yeah, that's the one I was.
Yeah, because I mean, he's probably one of the best European players ever to come out, and he's kind of shocked the league with his high arc shot. Yeah, I don't see anyone really else in the last couple of years, but I would say Dirk.
Yeah, I'm going to give this guy some love, man. I love this guy. He was in the heart of a city where they had no hope for a little while, and he brought a new culture there. He was a part of the grit and grind. Zebo.
Really?
Zach Randolph is going to get his jersey retired by Memphis. I mean, true enough, they didn't win a title, but he took them to several Western Conference finals. And dueling between Tim Duncan and, well, that entire big three between Tim, Manu, and Tony. He also had a couple battles with KD and Russell Westbrook. So all of that has to be taken into consideration. I think Zach Randolph has done enough with the Memphis Grizzlies to get his jersey retired. And I'll also throw Mike Conley in there, but, you know, he's not retired yet, so I can't really pick him yet. But
You really think Conley would get his jersey retired? He hasn't really done enough to prove himself.
I'm here to make the case, and I will stand by Mike Conley. He is the most underrated point guard in this era, hands down, because what he has done for them in moments where they didn't have a leader, he was there, man. He was their guy. They had Rudy Gay, they had OJ Mayo, and they had several other guys. And Mike Conley was there through it all, man. He stuck with this franchise. He stuck by those guys, even through the good and the bad. And you have to reward that. Even if you feel like he didn't put up the most gaudy numbers, you have to respect what a man was willing to sacrifice in order to stick around for a franchise that literally had nothing and waited until they became something.
Well, they retired Collison's number for OKC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that one. I mean, isn't Conley also the all-time assist leader for the Grizzlies?
He is. He should be the all-time everything because he was there freaking forever.
There we go. Well, it looks like Anna's heading out. You guys got anything more you want to add on either?
I think this is it, man. I think Anna heading out is a sign that we need to head out too.
I guess so. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Episode 20. We'll find us on 5280, elevations5280.com every time. And this is the Backboard. We'll catch you guys next week.